Hi, I'm Jeff Wimmer from Studiocycles and Studiocycles.com, and in this short YouTube video I want to talk about the Schwinn AC Performance with a lifetime warranty for consumers and its magnetic resistance. What's the big deal about magnetic resistance? Well, since you ask, I'll be happy to tell you. There are basically three types of resistance employed on indoor group cycles. The first is the caliper, and Schwinn uses a caliper on their bikes. This is an original Schwinn Johnny G Spinner Pro. It has a bicycle caliper with two wool felt pads. You turn the knob and the pads squeeze together to create resistance. Now, the great thing about the Schwinn caliper with the dual pads is it's got a really wide window of applied resistance. So if you're a veteran indoor cyclist, you know the term add a little bit, add a little bit, add a little bit. And the Schwinn caliper with the dual pads has a really wide range from easy to hard. The problem is you have to take the pads off a couple times a year, brush them, spray them, and put them back on. It's not much trouble. It takes about 10 minutes, but most people don't want to do anything except ride the bike. Second type of resistance is the top-load single pad. Top-load single pads can typically be found on Star Trucks. And here is a V2 version V-bike. And you can see, and I use this bike as an example because the resistance pad is exposed. You turn the knob goes down, there's a connection point to the pad hits the flywheel. The pad is made of leather, foam, and aluminum, and the window of applied resistance is a little bit shorter than the Schwinn. However, it's completely maintenance free. The next type of resistance, which is the most evolved type, is magnetic resistance. With magnetic resistance, you have magnets that, if you look at this flywheel, the blade of the wheel is aluminum, and you have a magnet on this side. Let me get my... You have a magnet on this side, you have a magnet on this side, the basket drops down, the magnets conduct through an eddy current through the blade, and the more magnets that conduct through that blade, the more resistance there is. If I push down, you will see the magnets drop down, and that's how magnetic resistance works. Kaiser has magnetic resistance on their bike, and to their credit, they were the first to implement magnetic resistance into an indoor cycling bike. They use 2 magnets. Schwinn uses 6 magnets. Schwinn uses a triangulated magnet basket. People like the shifter on a Kaiser and the 2 magnets, but the problem with that in a class setting is that there's a really long cable that goes on a Kaiser from the shifter all the way down the bike to the back wheel, because the wheel on the Kaiser is in the back, and the number on the screen is coordinated with the movement of the shift lever, and because cables never stop stretching, somewhere in a room full of 20, 30, 40 bikes, someone's going to have 6, another person's going to have 6 or 7, and sadly, one person's going to be working way harder than the other person on the same number, but believing they're all on the same number. The other thing is the amount of aggressive inertia that the bikes produce. I think having magnetic resistance with aggressive inertia is great because you get the added benefit of fluid, non-friction, non-contact resistance, which is just a thing of beauty. But with aggressive inertia, you also develop a pedal stroke. And I think the most important part of the bike is what the flywheel does for the rider. When you have perimeter weighting, you get to develop a pedal stroke. If you're a non-cyclist, you come to the table with an up, down, up, down, up, down pedal stroke. That's hard on the hip flexors and the knees, and especially as you get older. So perimeter weighting in non-cyclists, it's the best thing ever because non-cyclists immediately start to develop a 360-degree pedal stroke. Aggressive inertia-producing flywheels, in other words, they have a bulge on the outside edge. aggressive inertia producing flywheels, you also produce endorphins very quickly, so you feel better faster on the bike. You get that association subconsciously, and you want to go back and ride. That's why people who take indoor cycling and spinning classes, they become addicted to it. Not only does it make you look really good, but you feel really good. It's like a free high. It's like you know, the body produces endorphins, and you walk out of the class just So what's not to like about that? You look great, you feel great, you sleep better, your diet is less restrictive, and you walk out with a buzz. Pretty sweet deal from where I come from. So magnetic resistance is, I think, from an evolutionary standpoint, I think you'll see a lot more bikes having it employed on their designs over the next 5 to 10 years. But for now, the Schwinn AC Performance and the Schwinn AC Sport are our magnetic bikes of choice. And we love the bikes. We pro-build them, we hand-tune them. Anybody else you buy a bike from, they're going to drop ship the bike and process your credit card. If you have a problem, you're going to call the company, you're going to get an operator, the operator's going to tell you to call the manufacturer, and you're going to need therapy and probably some strong medication. If you have a problem with our bike, you call me, you call us directly. We don't tell you to call the manufacturer, but the fact that we tear the bike apart and hand-tune it and build it and optimize it and then overpackage it, because a lot of bikes get damaged in shipping, but not us. We shipped over 900 bikes last year. We had 2 UPS claims, and we got the Schwinn National Distributor, fastest growing National Distributor Award for 2011, which is a huge privilege to us. And if you're a commercial customer and you come to this warehouse, you will be blown away. I promise you. This warehouse there's no other warehouse like this warehouse on the planet. We've got a lot of bikes. We have a lot of bikes. And we have Schwinn, Star Trek, Kaiser, Le Mans, and a few free motions, although we are kind of backing off from free motion right now. I felt like they came out of the gate strong, but for lack of a better term, they've become inconsistent, and I don't like that. So I'll watch them and see how things go. But if you want a free consultation, you don't call an operator, you talk to me. I own the company, I tune and ride the bikes. I've built, ridden, tuned, refurbished somewhere in the neighborhood of 100,000 bikes over the last 15 to 20 years, indoor group cycles. And before that, I was involved in the bicycle industry for 15, 20 years, and you know, I built a lot of Schwinn Airdynes, a lot of XR7s, XR8s, DX900s. The very bike that Johnny G based the Schwinn Johnny G Spinner, the very first bike on, was based on the Schwinn XR7, XR8, DX900s. And I built and repaired hundreds of those before Johnny ever developed a spinner. With that being said, this warehouse will, if you come here, you will be floored and blown away by what you see and what you find here. There is no warehouse like this place anywhere on the planet Earth. We've got 100-foot, 80 to 100-foot workbench. Here's Star Trek spinner blade that is going to the painters for the World Spinning and Sports Conference, Josh Taylor's custom bike. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. I'm a little ADD ridden. You call me. You talk to me. I promise you, you'll learn more from me in 10 minutes than you will from a full day of researching online and calling company after company after company. I'm Jeff Wimmer from Studiocycles and Studiocycles.com, and I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and best of luck to you on your road to health and fitness.